Hello everyone and welcome to day 4 of the Advent Knit Along. Now we are well on our way to creating one of these beautiful stockings, and day 4 is where things get a little more interesting. So far you have learned how to cast on, you know how to knit and garter stitch where you're knitting both sides, you've done a bit of casting off. But now we're going to knit 4 rows in stockinette and we're changing colour. So currently we've worked up only in pink, or if you started in cream, wherever you started, we're changing colour essentially. So what we're going to do to change colour is we're going to get our new yarn, and for me that is cream, but again you might have done the opposite, started with the other colour, that's fine. So we're going to do the most simple way to change colour. Now, if you already know how to knit and you've done this a million times, change colour in your preferred method. If you're doing it for the first time, I'm going to show you the most simple way to change colour. And it is, essentially just tying a knot as close to the needle as possible. So we're going to take our new colour and we are going to make sure our yarn is down and back, and then we're going to go onto our basically you're going to tie a knot onto this next yarn, just a simple knot, nothing frilly about it, and we're going to push it up as close to the needle as possible, close to that stitch, then pull it tight, and then you can secure it again with an extra knot just to make sure it's nice and secure, like so. Pull it really tight, but there you go. So now we've got our yarn attached with our new colour, and you've got a little bit of the tails here, but you just don't worry about those. They will be on the inside, or we'll cut them off anyway. Right, so now the first row that we're going to do is like we've done a million times already. We are just going to knit. So we're going to take our needle to the left side, through the stitch. It might be a little bit tight from where you've actually tied the new yarn on, but then you just carry on as normal. So firstly, we're going to knit all the way across this row, and we have 30 stitches. So we're going to knit every stitch across the row, and this is going to be the beginning of the actual stocking piece. And it's funny because the first part of the stocking is going to be knit in stocking stitch. Was stocking stitch created because of Christmas stockings? I don't know, but we're going to say it is, because Merry Christmas, and we're doing a stocking stitch advent calendar. Right, so we're going to knit stitch every stitch along, and you should still have 30 stitches. So we're going to just keep knitting all the way to the end of this row. And then the next row is going to be slightly different. Again, if you know how to knit, we're going to purl across the wrong side. And the wrong side essentially is the side that is going to be on the inside of the stocking, because you have the right side of your work and the wrong side. And the wrong side is usually where the back of the stocking stitch is visible. Okay, so just gotten to the end of the first row where we knit 30 stitches. My needle is escaping me. Now what we're going to do is we are going to purl across these stitches instead of knitting them. So to do that, whereas before for a new row we would pull down and back, for a purl row we want to take our needle and bring our work down and to the front, because instead of going into the stitch like so, we're actually going to go from the back of our work, from the right side, into the loop this way. So I'll show you again. We're going to go in this way, and then we are going to wrap our yarn around the front needle, and then we're going to take the needle to the back of our work and then drop it off. It's essentially the exact opposite of a knit stitch. So I'm going to show you again. Your right needle to the right side of your stitch, but to the back, and you're going to bring it from the back through to the front. Then you're going to wrap your yarn around your needle, and then take that needle back through where it came along with your stitch and drop it off your needle. So you're going to go again from the back through to the front, wrap it around that front needle, take it to the back and drop it off. So we're going to continue all the way to the end of this row. Now, if you don't know how to purl stitch, there are lots of tutorials available, so you can check them out. But it is essentially the reverse of a knit stitch. So you're going in from the back, through to the front, around, take it to the back and drop it off. And you're going to do that for all 30 stitches. And that will take you to the end of row 2 in our cream colour. And we're going to be doing 4 rows total. So if you know what you're doing by this point, then you know that the next row is going to be a knit stitch row, and then you're going to do a purl stitch row, and that is going to be your day 4. So now that we're well on our way into our stocking stitch for 4 rows, again, this, if you're a knitter and you know how to knit, each of these days should take you, 5 minutes or so, whereas if you're a beginner, it might take you a little bit longer, but that's okay. You're going to find yourself speeding up and getting way better at knitting the further you go along with this project. Now, okay, so we got to the end of our second row of stocking stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to knit these stitches again. So now you can see, because we've purled on the other side, you can see that there's no bumps like there are in this garter stitch section. So this is going to knit a lot flatter than the brim, the top of your stocking, whatever you want to call it. So now for this next row, what we're going to do is the same as what we did for the first time. We're going to bring it down and to the back, and then we're going to knit through these stitches like we have for every other row previous, except from the purl row. So we're going to knit all the way across, and then we're going to purl back, and that'll be the end of your day 4. So now, Christmas story times. I feel like we've talked about decorating, we've talked about advent calendars. Now, for me, I find Christmas to be one of those times where it is a challenge to kind of know what to get other people. I feel like there are so many occasions where I feel like I know what I need to get certain friends, and some people are really easy to buy for and some people are difficult to buy for. My husband being one of the people that are extremely difficult to buy for. So what I tend to do, I do some kind of experience or do some kind of fun thing that we can do together, because otherwise we end up getting each other things that we don't necessarily want or need. But the actual thing that we probably want or need the most is to be able to spend more time together. So that's something that I'm planning on doing. But I also do Christmas scrapbooks. So at the end of every year for my husband, I do a little scrapbook of photo memories and all like the train tickets and plane boarding passes that I've kept over the year. I'll stick in, and we've got one every year since we've been together. So there's currently 13 scrapbooks that we can look through and be able to go through one day with our kids, which is really fun. So I just got to the end of that third row, which was a knit row. Now I've turned our work, and now we're going for a purl. So bringing it down, but remember the yarn sits in front of your needles for a purl, and then you go from the back through to the front, through the stitch to the front, then you wrap the yarn, and then you take it all the way to the back. And then you're going to carry on doing that till the end of this row. But so for this year, I'm going to carry on with the scrapbook for Lance. He's probably not watching these, and he knows that he gets a scrapbook, but every year we always do the dance of, oh, I forgot to do the scrapbook this year. And then of course it's the last thing he opens, and it's the thing that he loves the most, and it takes a lot of time and effort to go into it. But I am going to make sure that I get all of that done in time. Between this advent calendar and scrapbooking, I'll be very busy on the build up to Christmas. But I'm really excited to be able to see your progress on this. So please make sure you tag us and so that we can see what you're up to. And we're nearly at the end of this 4th row of stocking stitch on our Christmas stocking. Here we go. Okay, we're nearly there. Nearly there. I've got 3 more stitches. And again, everybody's going to knit at their own pace. So you go at your own pace, whether it's fast, whether it's slow, whatever it is. You'll get to the end of this and you'll be so proud of yourself with a lovely little Christmas stocking. But there we have it. That was day 4. So you can see how we just basically knit, and then we purl, and then we knit, and then we purl. And that was 4 rows of stocking stitch, or stockinette is sometimes called. And you can see how the different texture, where it's gone from bumpy to a more flat part of the stocking. So yeah, that was day 4. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you come back tomorrow for day 5. And please share your progress with us on socials. Tag us at Made with Love by Tom Daley, and also hashtag Let's Get Knitting.